All men lie when they are afraid. Some tell many lies, some but a few. Some have only one great lie they tell so often that they almost come to believe it, though some small part of them will always know that it is still a lie, and that will show upon their faces. Hey guys, this is an analysis of Daenerys. Just Daenerys. No Jon Snow this time. Sorry, Jon. There are spoilers ahead for A Song of Ice and Fire through A Dance with Dragons. So, spoiler warning, here it is. This probably goes without saying, but I think it's important to say it once in a while. It's a big Westeros out there. I could be wrong about anything. In fact, I'm definitely a little wrong at least, and I'm very interested to learn how, and what you guys think the story means. Okay, here we go. So I was reading Daenerys in A Game of Thrones, the part where she's tricked by Mirri Maz Duur, and something in it stood out to me. Dany turned to the god's wife. You warned me that only death could pay for life. I thought you meant the horse.
No,
Mirri Maz Duur said.
That was a lie you told yourself. You knew the price.
Had she? Had she?
If I look back, I am lost. The price was paid,
Dany said.
The horse, my child, Quaro and Kotho, Hago and Kohalo.
The price was paid and paid and paid. She rose from her cushions.
Where is Khal Drogo? Show him to me, God's wife, Maigi, blood mage, whatever you are. Show me Khal Drogo. Show me what I bought with my son's life. As you command, Khaleesi,
the old woman said.
Come, I will take you to him.
The part that caught my attention was had she. It seems like self-doubt. Did Dany know the price? That the blood magic would kill her baby. I tend to believe that nothing in the story was put there by accident, or for no good reason. So I found something that I think was put there, and that's Dany's self-doubt. And I want to find out why it was put there, beyond the vague reason that it's just dramatic. I found a loose thread in my understanding of the story, because I always thought that Mirri tricked Dany. So if I want to understand the story better, I need to grab the loose thread and pull. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull on Dany's self-doubt, and to try to do it with nothing but genuine, relentless curiosity, and see if anything comes out of that. Many of Dany's reactions suggest that she wasn't expecting her baby to die at all. As she points out, the slaughtering of Drogo's horse seemed like the ritualistic fulfillment of death paying for life. Why shouldn't the death of an animal suffice? And why shouldn't one death? Dany doesn't know how blood magic works, and neither do we. As far as we and Dany can tell, Mirri's actions match her words, and her words don't seem to leave space for any slippery language. Mirri accuses Dany of lying to herself, which is an interesting thing to accuse somebody of doing. It raises a few questions itself, like, why would I lie to myself? And what exactly is the lie? And how the hell would you know? Let's give Mirri Maz Duur a fair chance. Maybe Dany is lying to herself, and Mirri does somehow know it. Now, I have to stop and acknowledge that this feels like a really gross investigation, because I like Dany way better than I like Mirri, and I see a lot of myself in Dany. The fact that I don't like Mirri is what makes it so challenging to suppose that she's right. But for now, let's allow our curiosity to overpower our disgust for the investigation. Supposing that Mirri is right, and Dany is lying to herself, how could it be possible for Mirri to know? One way that Mirri might be able to know is through nonverbal communication, Dany's body language and expressions. This sort of thing is described in the books, in this exchange between Arya and the kindly man.
Child,
said the kindly man one day,
what are those names you whisper of a night? I don't whisper any names.
she said.
You lie,
he said.
all men lie when they are afraid. Some tell many lies, some but a few. Some have only one great lie they tell so often that they almost come to believe it, though some small part of them will always know that it is still a lie, and that will show upon their faces. Tell me of these names.
So maybe a lie was evident in Dany's nonverbals. I have a method of analysis, and it's a very reasonable method, and the story validates the method. Now let's revisit the scene before this, when Dany gave Miri permission to do the blood magic, and we'll watch carefully for Dany's nonverbal communication.
Is there no other way?
No other.
Khal Drogo gave a shuddering gasp.
Do it,
Dany blurted. She must not be afraid. She was the blood of the dragon.
Save him. There is a price,
The god's wife warned her.
You'll have gold, horses, whatever you like. It is not a matter of gold or horses. This is blood magic, lady. Only death may pay for life. Death?
Dany wrapped her arms around herself protectively, rocked back and forth on her heels.
My death?
She told herself she would die for him if she must. She was the blood of the dragon. She would not be afraid. Her brother Rhaegar had died for the woman he loved.
No.
Miri Maz-Dur promised.
Not your death, Khaleesi.
Dany trembled with relief.
Do it.
The Maegi nodded solemnly.
As you speak, so it shall be done. Call your servants.
As soon as the price of death is mentioned, Dany wraps her arms around her pregnant belly protectively and rocks on her heels. This body language might indicate to us, and to Miri, that Dany either knows or suspects that the real price of blood magic will be her baby. Dany has never rocked on her heels before, as far as I know, but Dany does this thing with her arms all the time. We have to investigate those times, to find out if this body language means something or nothing. The first time Dany crosses her arms over her belly is at the Dothraki pregnancy ritual in Vise Dothrak.
The one-eyed crone peered at Dany.
What shall he be called, the stallion who mounts the world?
She stood to answer.
He shall be called Rhaego,
she said, using the words that Jaqi had taught her. Her hands touched the swell beneath her breasts protectively, as a roar went up from the Dothraki.
Rhaego!
They screamed.
Rhaego! Rhaego! Rhaego!
Dany has just successfully eaten the heart of a horse, without vomiting, in front of an audience of captivated Dothraki. The roar of the Dothraki seems to startle her, and it seems like her instinct is to protect her baby by touching her belly.
Viserys laughed.
They can't kill us. They can't shed blood here in the sacred city. But I can.
He laid the point of his sword between Daenerys' breasts and slid it downward, over the curve of her belly.
I want what I came for,
he told her.
I want the crown he promised me. He bought you, but he never paid for you. Tell him, I want what I bargained for, or I'm taking you back. You and the eggs both. He can keep his bloody foal. I'll cut the bastard out and leave it for him.
The sword point pushed through her silks and pricked at her navel. At the feast, Viserys draws a sword on his sister and slides the blade over her pregnant belly. He presses it against her stomach and threatens to kill the baby. Viserys began to scream the high, wordless scream of the coward facing death. He kicked and twisted, whimpered like a dog and wept like a child. But the Dothraki held him tight between them. Ser Jorah had made his way to Dany's side. He put a hand on her shoulder. "Turn away, my princess. I beg you."
No.
She folded her arms across the swell of her belly protectively. At the last, Viserys looked at her.
Sister, please. Dany, tell them. Make them. Sweet sister.
Moments later, Just before Viserys is crowned, Dany insists upon watching him die. She folds her arms across the swell of her belly protectively. I think the threat against her baby triggered a protective instinct in her, and it's a major part of the reason that she has no problem allowing her brother to be killed. The third time that Dany crossed her arms over her belly was at the market in Vise Dothrak. A wine merchant tried to assassinate her, using poisoned wine.
My brother?
Her sob was half a laugh.
He does not know yet, does he? The usurper owes Drogo a lordship.
This time her laugh was half a sob. She hugged herself protectively.
And me, you said? Only me?
You and the child, Ser Jorah said, grim.
No. He cannot have my son.
She would not weep, she decided. She would not shiver with fear. The usurper has woken the dragon now, she told herself. And her eyes went to the dragon's eggs, resting in their nest of dark velvet. Jorah tells Dany that the assassination is in response to a bounty that has been placed upon her and her brother's lives by Robert Baratheon. Dany seems to already suspect that her baby is part of the bounty too, because she asks, "Only me?" She crosses her arms out of instinct to protect her baby from a threat that she has already imagined. Jorah confirms the threat, and Dany's mood changes to that of a protective mother. The fourth time Dany crossed her arms over her belly, Khal Drogo lay dying from a festering wound.
Khal Drogo commanded them to keep me safe. But if he dies...
She touched the swell of her belly.
I don't understand. Why should we flee? I am Khaleesi. I carry Drogo's heir. He will be Khal after Drogo...
Ser Jorah frowned. Princess, hear me.
The Dothraki will not follow a suckling babe. Drogo's strength was what they bowed to, and only that. When he is gone, Jocko and Pono and the other Khos will fight for his place. And this Khalasar will devour itself. The winner will want no more rivals. The boy will be taken from your breast the moment he is born. They will give him to the dogs. Dany hugged herself. But why? She cried plaintively. Why should they kill a little baby?
Jorah warns Dany that the situation is urgent. They have to flee from the Dothraki before the Khal dies, or else Dany and her baby will be in danger. The Dothraki kingship is different from the Westerosi kingship that Dany knows. The Dothraki don't believe in blood right. They believe in might. So blood right doesn't protect baby Rhaego here. Before Jorah explains the situation to her, her body language shows me that she already understands the situation. She touches her swollen belly out of instinct for fear of a threat to her baby that she has just identified.
You will die, Maegi, Kotho promised. But the other must die first.
He drew his arak and made for the tent.
No,
she shouted.
You mustn't.
She caught him by the shoulder, but Kotho shoved her aside. Dany fell to her knees, crossing her arms over her belly to protect the child within.
Stop him,
she commanded her Khas.
Kill him.
Dany has now agreed to go through with the blood magic, and most of the Dothraki are turning against her. Kotho promises to kill Dany after he kills Miri, and things start to get physical. Dany crosses her arms to protect her baby, for the 5th time, perhaps remembering Jorah's warning from earlier. In every situation in which Dany crosses her arms over her belly protectively, there's a threat to her baby that she has identified. So, when Dany does this protective motion for the final time, in front of Miri-Ma's door, I think we have all the precedents available to help us try again to answer Dany's haunting question. That was a lie you told yourself. You knew the price. Had she? Had she? If I look back, I am lost.